Hey there, guys. Sorry for not being able to narrate for quite some time. It's just been school and a lot of social life things I've been working on. So let's just jump right into the match. I'm gonna lead off Rotom W. This pretty much means that I'm gonna get my opponent actually is gonna get the assumption that this thing is choiced, and I'm just gonna go for a Volt Switch, and I'm just gonna keep Volt Switching even though the Ferrothorn is pretty obvious, and I do carry the HP Fire. I don't want to go for it because it wouldn't do much either way, and I could go into my Tyranitar and set up the Sandstorm, get a bit of an advantage, and kill off the thing that might want to come in, and basically kill off his Weather Starter. So this is going to do it at 58% thanks to being choice banded, but I am going to want to switch out just because I really don't have anything else to hit it with, and I don't want to burn. So I'm going to switch into Jellicent. I basically walls Azumarill any set, and I'm just going to go for a Will-O-Wisp just because in case I want that physical attack damage lowered and just hits anything else quite nicely. So I'm going to send in Jirachi just to take a special side hit, but he's actually going to go for the trick, trying to stop my Jellicent straight from the start, but luckily I do send in the Jirachi, but it's not going to be too much faster just because I don't have any true speed investment in this Pokemon, but he is going to go for a Volt Switch, and that's going to do about 20%, but he's going to send in his Breloom. This thing is a problem because it happens to be a bulk up set. So I'm going to switch into my Skarmory. He's actually just going to set up a bulk up instead of going for Spore. Either way, this would have been bad if he really went for Spore. But he's going to go for Spore this turn, and unfortunately it's going to hit because it's 100% obviously. But I'm just going to keep going for Whirlwind because I don't want this thing in, and luckily this turn I'm actually going to be able to wake up, and I'm going to be able to Whirlwind him out, but he's actually going to get sent into the Azumarill. This thing's really dangerous in the rain, so I'm going to want to switch it. I'm going to go into Jellicent, and he's going to go for the Waterfall, but fortunately I do have the Water Absorb, and that's not going to do much. So here I'm going to make a double switch into my Tyranitar, knowing that he's probably going to want to switch on to something that can basically counter my Jellicent. So now that I have a bit of an advantage, I can take a hit from Rotom W. I don't want to, so I'm going to switch and I'm going to go into Jirachi, probably expecting a Hydro Pump. But here he's going to get a crit. Unfortunately, that's going to cost me quite a large amount of health. And I really don't have too much to stand up to this Rotom W if he keeps playing like that with a switch tactic. Bit of a half Volt turn. So I'm going to go for a Wish twice, actually, see what he wants to do. And he's going to go for Elite Seed. I don't carry the Protect here, but oh well. So since I'm locked into Wish, that's basically what I'm going to keep going for. But I'm going to switch out here. I'm going to go into my Skarmory. I'm just going to set up my Spikes here. Basically my safest hazard that I can do right now. And I'm just going to go for that. And here I'm in an okay position. I can't do too many things to wall this Rotom W anymore, but it doesn't have too many switches left in it, thanks to the Burn and the Stealth Rock. So he's gonna Volt Switch. That's gonna do 20%. He's gonna switch out. I only have about 20% left on myself already. But here he's gonna send out his Rapid Spinner, and I'm gonna set out one more Witch, as he's going to go for Rapid Spin. This would have been better if you tried to predict my Jellicent, since it is a Ghost type and would have blocked the spin. But, oh well, I'm going to send in my Rotom W just to take a hit, most likely anything. But he's going to send in the Azumarill. I'm going to get that Wish Pass, and thankfully to that, I'm actually just going to be at 100% again. He's going to want to switch out to his Ferrothorn, and I'm just going to go for a Volt Switch. I'm just going to get the advantage here, and I'm going to send in Tyranitar. This thing can easily OHKO from this range, even with a superpower that is banded. So that's a dead Ferrothorn. Luckily, that's probably one of my biggest threats to stopping my Rotom W from basically cleaning out his team a bit. So that's just one thing. And I'm going to switch it out to my Jirachi, just going to let it be a bit of a fodder. And it's going to die to the Hydro Pump. Unfortunately, he does hit again, but oh well. So he's going to keep losing health, thankfully, to the Burn, and he's basically at his last turn, and I'm in Sandstorm, so I'm just going to go for a U-turn. This does give him switch advantage because I did KO the Pokemon, but it doesn't necessarily matter because I'm just going to be able to send out my Rotom W knowing the Ferrothorn is dead, and there's nothing really left to check me that well. But he does carry the Breloom. This is probably one of the only things left that he has to check me, and seeing as little it did, it is, of course, the bulk up, so it's actually going to be able to take that kind of nicely, doing about 40%, and I'm going to want to switch out, but actually I'm just going to keep going for it. I didn't play that smart this match, and he's going to be able to almost take out my Rotom W at +1, but my own Sandstorm is going to take me out. Unfortunately, the lefties come recovery isn't going to be there before. So I'm going to go for a Hidden Power Ice. I'm just going to go for Landorus, and that is easily going to KO, thankfully. And he's going to send out his Polishode. This means he has his Rain backup, but he only has about one Pokemon that can abuse it. So I am actually just going to go into my Jellicent. He's going to probably predict this, or he just wants to go for Toxic either way. And probably the safest play. So he's going to go for the Protect here, as I'm actually just going to go for a Will-O-Wisp. I just want some status on him, more likely the Residual Burn. But that's actually not going to work out, and he has me Toxic. So he's going to go for a Parasong here, as I'm going to go for another Will-O-Wisp. I want that residual damage like I did state earlier, and he's not going to want to stay in too much longer. But that's not too big of a problem. I could probably just switch out. This is weird because Toxic plus Parasong, that kind of provokes a switch, but at the same time you're stalling them. I don't honestly get it that much, but oh well, it's probably meant for different occasions. You don't use those in combination. But I'm going to switch in my Tyranitar as he's going to switch into a Starmie. I'm going to switch out into my Jellicent just because I want to be able to take any hit. But unfortunately, I know these things do carry the Thunderbolt, and he'll most likely hit me and KO me with that. So I'm actually just going to switch out. I'm going to go into my Landorus just to dodge the T-Bolts. And he's actually going to go for a Recover, oddly enough. But this doesn't put me in too horrible of a position. I'm just going to go for a U-turn. That's going to do about 54%. It's not going to be able to KO, unfortunately. But I am going to be able to send in my Jellicent. I'm going to use that as a hit fodder. But he actually just goes for an Ice Beam this time. I don't actually understand why, but it does work out in my favor. So he's going to go for a Recover again, as I go for a Scald. Unfortunately, I don't exactly know why I went for the Scald. I probably expected to die this turn, but I do, thanks to the damage. But luckily here, he's going to be at less amount of health than he normally is, and I'm just going to be able to clean up a bit with Earthquake. Earthquake does quite a bit to most of his Pokemon, so that's okay. I'm left with 3 Pokemon. I'm going to keep going for Earthquake. That's actually going to do only 26%. He's going to be able to take me out with a Scald, unfortunately. This means he has his Azumarill left, but that's probably the most dangerous thing he does have, and I'm sorry that the thing kind of messed up right there. So he's left with his Sand up still, I mean, his Rain, and this means he's going to be hitting with a lot of damage here. And I'm going to go for a Brave Bird just because I know he's probably going to go for a move that's going to hurt me quite a bit, and he's going to go for the Waterfall, and that's going to do 70% damage on me. Unfortunately, that's nothing I can really take too much, but I am going to Roost up here, and this is actually going to cost me my Skarmory, because of course 70, I could only gain 50% back with my Roost, sorry. And I'm just gonna go for a Crunch, and here I get a nothing actually, just a Banded Crunch. I'm actually faster, and that's actually gonna score me the win. So good game. Comment, like, and subscribe, guys. I'll see you later.